But so what's going on today? Last night, some big news sort of tore through Canada and the U.S. Um, let's have a look at this video here. I bookmarked something. Let's find it. Not that, not that. Here we go. Let's have a look at this. This is pretty good.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor. Right.
Well, I definitely wouldn't want Trudeau to continue being our leader. That is a no-brainer for me. But says, breaking, Trump reportedly told Justin Trudeau that if his tariffs destroyed Canada and the country could not survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then Canada should become the United States' 51st state and Trudeau serving as its governor. No thanks. No thanks. Nobody wants that. But that does bring on the question as to how would people feel about that? How would people feel about the U.S. becoming our country? Yeah, I mean, I think I'm a massive fan of the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution is the only thing that spares the U.S. from and the American people from being part of some type of dictatorship. People think that Trump can become a dictator. It's like, no, he can't. He can't. The Constitution protects the people. It's just that's how the U.S. was built. The founding fathers were brilliant people, and they really knew how to ensure that no funny business could go back and forth with, the government of the U.S. Other countries in the world, Canada, UK, all the Commonwealth countries, they have been under rule for thousands of years. And the system has always been manipulated to ensure that people can't rise up. There's that movie that came out, the Napoleon movie. And if people don't know this, Napoleon was part of a secret society. The big one, the one that everybody knows, Jay-Z's one, that one. All of France was under that rule, and that's why when Napoleon took over, it was so easy for him. He just walked in because all the Freemasons who were, corrupted, they had empowered him to do so. And there's a line in the movie where a young boy comes into Napoleon's office and he asks Napoleon if he can have his father's saber, which is a sword. And Napoleon's line to him, which is played by Joaquin Phoenix, says, I can't let you have that. He says, but it's my father's, and it would make, for a great piece of memorabilia, something along those lines. And he says, yes, but it's still a weapon. And that's the reality. In countries in the UK and under Commonwealth rule, the people aren't allowed to carry weapons. And the U.S. has the right to bear arms, which is what protects the people from being taken over, because the people are as stacked as the U.S. military. I mean, sure, they don't have tanks but you couldn't take the people over in the United States without mass casualties. Whereas in Canada, UK, Australia, other Commonwealth countries, if they wanted to take over, that's it. They take over. If they wanted to put us in internment camps and tell us what to do, they could. Sure, there's going to be a few people out there who are going to say, fuck that. They're going to pull out their rifles and they're going to get killed fighting. Sure, go down fighting. Good for you. But in Canada, we just don't have the manpower or the firepower. And so if the U.S. wants to become or wants us to sort of roll into their states, I mean, it's tough because there's this part of you that feels like, is that a turncoat mentality? to want to be part of the greatest country in the world, to be part of the freest country in the world. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. The thought of Trump being the United States or Canadian president is, I don't know. I mean, there's this, the pleb did a poll. It says, if America invades Canada, you have three choices here. I will fight back, which is 23% of Canada. I will help them, which is 47% of Canada. And I will do nothing, which is 29.1%, which is what I said. I said I would do nothing because I don't think it's worth a loss of life. There's no worth. It's just not worth the loss of life to fight back. And it seems a little morally corrupt to help them. And I could sleep better at night if it just happened to be what happened. Knowing I helped them, I don't know. It feels like, what if it was the wrong decision? There really wouldn't be any way to know because Canada right now is in such a tough place.